Good morning out there. This is Alan with The Drive this morning. Hey, we've got breaking news. The United States of America, they're changing their draft status. They're changing it on April the 30th. They're going to change the age in which you can get drafted into the Army or the United States military. Plus, we're going to take a deeper look at China as they're preparing to possibly go to war underwater on submarines against the United States of America. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, these and many more stories here this morning. Alan, D9J Sports, and The Drive, where you know we venture off to other things. Let's jump right into it this morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I just stated, things are really getting out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. We already know what's happening with the war and everything that's going on. For a lot of us out there, the only reason we know it is because the gas prices are going up and food is also rising up. The price of everything is rising up. We're hearing one story from the president, but they're something totally different. We've hearing stories about, we know that they released a prisoner yesterday who'd been in captivity over there for about a year, and the president's calling that a gift. But yet and still, we're deploying 1,500 airborne rangers and troops over there, so things are not going the way they want. But ladies and gentlemen, it's taking a totally different, dramatic turn as far as I'm concerned in being a veteran of the United States military. On April the 20th of 2026, the maximum age limit will be 42 years old to go into the military. Now, this is moving up from 34 years old. Used to be the maximum was 34 years old that you could get in, but now they're raising it up to 42 years old. Also, they're taking the waiver away where you could have, you could be smoking that stuff. You could be smoking that weed, right? That ganja, whatever. Y'all don't know what the kids call it today, but you could be smoking that stuff, and you can have a single conviction. But they're throwing that out because they're trying to raise it up. Now, what does that tell me as a older person? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it tells me one thing that's pretty obvious. Things are out of control. Things are out of control over there, and now they're trying to get it set up to where they can get some grown-ups. Because let's be honest, what 18-year-old do you know now? And I'm not going down on all of the 18-year-olds, but what 18 to 25-year-old that do you know right now that you're going to tell? His parents can't even tell him to get out of the house and get off the video game. And you telling me that the government's going to tell him, no, man, put your video game down. You go put on a Kevlar and a backpack and you get a gun and you go over and you start. No, ladies and gentlemen, that's not going to happen. They not wanting to do nothing anyway. They not wanting to do nothing. You surely not. But there be so many draft dodgers you wouldn't not be able to fill the jail cells up. But for you up to 42 years old, it's going to be different. Will it ever get to a point again, ladies and gentlemen, where they're just calling out, reaching out and saying, well, hey, man, we're drafting people. So you have your expectations and your dreams and your hopes and aspirations. And then all of a sudden now things are out of hand. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this whole world that we're living in the United States of America right now. Things are taking a turn, and it's not the turn that you were expecting it to be taken. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the next segment, I'm going to ask you to hit the like and subscribe and donate button. Hit the like and subscribe and donate button. Really appreciate you guys and girls out there sticking with me. All of my new subscribers, we really appreciate it. All of my old subscribers who've been with me. This is not my channel. It's our channel. It's our channel. If there's anything out there that you want me to research or cover, you reach out to me. You let me know. But once again, appreciate all you guys and girls out there sticking with me. Let's keep this thing rolling. Well, we know that China, right, is not Iran. They're not Iran. So China, ladies and gentlemen, preparing themselves underground in the ocean, getting everything mapped out in case they have to go into a war, under a submarine war underwater with the United States of America. This is just another sign, ladies and gentlemen, that we do not have a lot of friends out there. The United States of America has put a lot of strain on everybody by going to war over here. We know the Strait of Hormuz still isn't open, and now China is getting ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, no disrespect to any Chinese person before I say this, but I'm going to tell you some American citizen, Jimmy Woo Woo and all of them, they not scared of Iran. They not scared of us. They are not scared of us. They will give us everything that we want. They will give us everything that we want. We need to find a way to get this thing together, to get it to come to an end, because we definitely do not want to be getting into it with China, man, because hey, you already know what's going to happen. Let's keep this thing rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, the TSA workers, ladies and gentlemen, this is out of control. Have you seen the long lines? Some of the lines are excess of over 6 hours. People missing their flights, having to come back to the airport. Now the ICE agents are there helping them out. But I want you to think about this. The damn ICE agents getting paid, but the TSA workers ain't getting paid. What you think about that? The ICE agents are getting paid, but the TSA workers are not getting paid. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? And doesn't look like it's just going to continue on. It's going to continue on. But what's going to happen is you're going to get some passengers, man. You know, some crazy people out there. You're going to get somebody to go to the airport and have to be there and stay there for a whole day and don't get their flight. And they're going to flip out there, man. They're going to flip out. It doesn't make any sense that they can't reach an agreement. But it's almost, it is, I'm about to say it is a slap in the face to the TSA workers out there to know that the ICE agents are getting paid and they're getting their paycheck. Doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. So as we continue to move on, ladies and gentlemen, we in America, we need to pay attention, because when I tell you gas prices are rising, food is up, they're changing the draft status. What does all of this tell you, ladies and gentlemen? It tells you that we're living in peril times, ladies and gentlemen. The country's in influx. Nobody can seem to get it together. This is Alan on the drive this morning. Stay safe out there. And I'm going to tell you every day when you get to work, don't pay them any attention. You're just there to get your damn check, because they don't give a damn about you and your family. This is Alan with D9J Sports, where we venture off to other things. On the drive, see you tomorrow morning. I'm definitely OUT.